Hi, this is Arthur Carmazzi, best-selling author and currently ranked as one of the world's top 10 thought leaders in organizational culture and leadership. And welcome to Where's Your Brain? Today we're going to be talking about brain power. Now I know that, over the past few videos we've been looking at the psychology and the physiology and basically even the chemistry of how your brain processes information, of how you get your ambiguity relief. And all of that is leading up to, basically more brain power. How to maximize your ability to achieve. Now, what we're not talking about here is we're not talking about how intelligent you are. We are talking about literally maximizing your ability to achieve, okay? And there is a difference. There are super intelligent people that can't really achieve much. And yet there are people who have difficulty doing their multiplication tables, and yet they have achieved amazing things. And of course, vice versa. But the critical factor here is brain power is the ability to achieve. That is our definition for today. So, first, let's look at school. How many of you went to school? If you went to school, there are probably some times where you were in a class and you were looking at some of these other people and they seem to be able to get really great grades without even studying. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, these people must be really smart. Well, let me give you a different scenario. First of all, let's say that the teacher in the background was basically looking through red-colored glasses because essentially they were processing their brain in a red way. So, that means that how they designed their class was going to be in a red way. That means that how they delivered their speeches and talks was in a red way. How they did their exercises was in a red way. How they did their homework and tests and graded the homework and tests was all in a red way. So if you had the same red-colored glasses, it was obvious, it was clear, it was like common sense. And yet, even if you're smart, you're looking at this person, if you don't have the same red-colored glasses and you're thinking, what is this guy saying? And you have to reinterpret or translate it by essentially studying on your own. So it is not necessarily that the people that were getting the really good grades without studying were much smarter. Okay, they probably had some generally good intelligence, but does it mean that they were super smart? No, not necessarily. What it means is that they had the same colored glasses or brain process as the person who was delivering the class in order to achieve the results. Now, the ability to achieve is directly related to the ability to take knowledge and creatively apply it. But that leads us to a myth. The myth of right brain and left brain. You probably heard that, maybe I'm right brain because I'm more creative, or maybe I'm left brain because I'm more creative. Bullshit. And I'm sorry if that word offends you, but you know what's really offensive is that people keep perpetuating this bullshit that isn't true. That is offensive. So, first of all, your brain, yes, does have right and left, but mostly it is geared towards different parts of your body. If I reach out with my right hand, I am using my left part of my brain. Okay, it doesn't mean that I'm more creative. Creativity, okay, the ability to remember, all of that stuff we had actually discussed a little bit about ability to remember stuff is done in your hippocampus. All right, so let's go ahead and just understand that the whole right brain, left brain thing is bullshit. And that every brain has the ability to connect things and to remember, but the processes are different. So creativity just simply has different processes. So brain power comes from the ability to combine these two. All right? Next. And speaking about bullshit, here is another one, that we only use 10% of our brain. Hello, which part would you be using? Is it just the memory part, the hippocampus? Or maybe it's the actual 10% of your brain mass is your reptilian brain. Maybe you have no intelligence whatsoever and you're just running around like a lizard. Hello, 10% of your brain. Our brain is complicated. We use all the different parts of our brain. Do we have more capacity for greatness and intelligence and brain power? Absolutely. But only when we apply and use our natural genetic brain processes, when we're using our own ambiguity relief processes and understand them well enough so that we can actually use the natural talents and ability of our brain in order to achieve more, rather than trying to kind of figure out a different way than what is natural for us. Oftentimes the barrier is when we're trying to do something that is not in line with our natural brain processes. So let's look at what all this means. First of all, one of the things that diminishes your brain power is frustration. When you're thinking of something, when you're trying to get something done and people just don't get you, and you're doing things in a specific way and other people are trying to do things in other ways, and well, basically, frustration helps you to use the part of your brain that is not intelligent, the reptilian brain. All right? So what we want to do is we want to understand our ambiguity relief processes so that once we do, then we can connect and use our strengths, our actual process to maximize our power. Because when we're trying to use other people's processes, it doesn't work. So in the next video, I'm going to go through each of these very specifically. So right now we have the green brain, which is essentially called chaotic processing. Nothing is connected. Then we have relational processing, okay, which is the purple brain. Everything is connected. Then we have the red brain, which is linear processing, and that connects through structure. And there is intuitive processing, which is connected internally. Now, your brain power comes from the decision to use your natural ambiguity relief processes to solve your problems and to come up with ideas. To use your knowledge and your creativity with the process that is your genetic foundation and not try to do somebody else's process. It's kind of like if you take a PC and you take a Mac and you got like Excel written for a PC and you try to stick it inside of a Mac and make it work, it won't work. Why? Because it's designed for that process. Be true to your process of processing the world around you. Be true to your ambiguity relief, and your brain power increases so that you can essentially achieve more. So, this is Arthur Carmazzi, and in the next video, we're going to be talking about the green brain and how that works and how you can get the most out of chaotic processing. And, in case you're not a chaotic processor, we'll also be talking about how you can deal with chaotic processing people in order to not want to kill them. So, this is Arthur Carmazzi wishing you great success.